think we are live. Fingers crossed this time. It's already turning red. Fuck. Alright, so I guess before I get started here, I am really hoping that this stream goes decent. So obviously I got my phone here monitoring the stream, which again, hopefully we will stay in the green. So yeah, I'm gonna try to pay attention to the stream from my phone. I'm a little worried that it's gonna cut out. You know, I think we're good, at least so far. Anyways, all right. So yeah, if anyone has any different, like, again, this is annoying. All right. So anyways, if anybody else has any different experience watching this, please let me know in the comments so I could fix it. I am, monitoring the stream from my phone. Again, hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully we can have a successful stream for once. I haven't had luck just because of issues with my internet, router, Wi-Fi, whatever you want to call it. But today I'm going to try to stream. I kind of... So see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I haven't streamed. And it is extremely frustrating. Never had this issue before. Again, I moved my laptop. I mean, it may have something to do with that because it is kind of tucked away a little bit, but it shouldn't. Maybe if I connect my laptop to my phone, I don't know. Stream health is just decent. Let's see if we can... see if we could pick something else up here. So now this is extremely risky. All right, so I don't... yeah, I don't think this... Okay, I don't know if we're good. It's gonna work. Oh, shit. I literally just cannot deal with this. And it's still fucking doing it. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. So, alright, yeah, whatever I just did. I tried hooking my computer up to my phone, but my phone gets worse signal in the basement here, so... guess we're gonna hang tight for a second, because I'm really not gonna do this if this is gonna be fucked up. Maybe if we elevate my phone out of this crater here, be risky. Elevate it up a little bit, maybe get it out of the dead zone. Oh, hopefully, just hopefully. I shouldn't have to. I've never had this issue before, so. Hello? Yeah, okay. Literally never had this issue. And so what I'm thinking about doing, this is it kind of defeats the purpose. It's not even the same. Um, I might just have to locally record this and then post it afterwards, but then it just kind of gets fucked. That's exactly what I don't want to do. And now I don't know why this hasn't updated yet. So this shouldn't matter. Testing. Testing. Oh god. Yeah, I don't know. I wish there was an easier way to stream. Maybe we're okay now? Maybe. Alright, I guess what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna attempt to show you guys this new project that I'm working on, and then if all goes well, I will start a new track. That is the goal of this stream, I guess, and you know, I've wanted to do many live streams, but again, because of my connection being so shitty, it was fine, and then you know. I don't know. I guess Time Warner Cable said that, or we were getting too much signal or something, which I personally think that's probably fine to at least us. I know. I don't know, but then they came and they fucked everything up. So, or Spectrum. I'm sorry, not even Time Warner anymore. It's fucking Spectrum. But yeah, they replaced it and they said that we were getting too strong of a signal, which is bad. And yeah, it's probably bad for them maybe, but I don't know. All these Wi-Fi and phone companies, it's all fucking scam. And 2G and 5G, like, fuck out of here. I want Wi-Fi, I want to be able to, you know, fucking stream and do all this shit without any issues. So, if my calculations are correct, raising my laptop up out of the ditch that it is kind of in, it's kind of buried, so I lifted it up a little bit, raised it up in the air. Maybe it will help. So far we're in the green. It looks okay, so we're gonna go for it, fingers crossed. um so yeah, anyways, let's get started here. So so all right, yeah, so studio time. If you guys make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm posting tons of other videos besides these. If we don't have luck doing the streams, then I will have to just locally record everything. But if you guys have any requests for videos or anything, please let me know in the comments below. Also, during the stream, if we're lucky and we can stream without issues, if you have any questions regarding production, sound design, literally anything, just let me know in the comments and I will answer it the best of my abilities. So this track that I'm about to show you is something I just started a couple days ago. Give you a little preview here. I was gonna break this down, but what we're probably gonna do is work on a new track. I guess right now I just want to make sure that this is working properly. Sounds fine. So, all right. Anyways, here it is. Again, it needs tons of work. This intro is just very bare minimum, but I've been putting a lot of focus on the drop, and hopefully it'll work. I had to freeze a couple tracks so far, but here it is.
It's a headbanger. Jump it!
This is so fucking frustrating. Alright, so, alright, fuck this. I literally cannot. I am literally getting so frustrated right now. I'm about to fucking throw my laptop through a fucking wall. Ugh. I'm about to fuck Spectrum. That's all I can say. Stupid fucking cable companies. Like, I'm gonna try to prevent myself from going on a rant here. I mean, now it's fucking working. Oh, see, I don't want to record it locally because A, I'm lazy and don't feel like editing an hour-long video, and B, it's just, at least studio times it's easier just to stream it. But, Time Warner Cable. Now I keep saying Time Warner. Well, fuck Spectrum. Like I said, they came, fixed my Wi-Fi, and I've had nothing but fucking issues since. And it's just like, see, it keeps dropping out. Like, this is the biggest bullshit ever. My Spectrum 2G. What the and supposedly 5G, but 5G doesn't even show up because it's it's a scam. It's a scam. That's all I can say. You pay for like high-speed internet and it's the fucking slowest thing possible. Like, it's just the thing that never understood is, how do you know it's actually a high speed? I mean, it's slow as shit, and then they say it's high speed, but it's fucking bullshit. Show available networks. See, it's just I've already done this. I want to connect to a 5G, but I can't. Maybe I'm gonna do one more attempt here. Maybe if I disconnect my phone from Wi-Fi, it probably won't really matter. I know sometimes, you can overload the systems if you got too many devices. Shouldn't matter though. If anybody has any suggestions, I mean, I'm pretty kind of tech savvy. I mean, I know a little bit about this stuff, but I've literally at this point I've given up because I've tried everything. And I just cannot get it to work. Obviously, I could, I mean, I'm not moving my studio upstairs. This is the space I built for my, studio. So, what I don't want to have to do is record this locally. But I think what I'm gonna do is just record it locally and just post it afterwards, and you guys can watch it. What I think could be happening too, possibly, I'm gonna try to free some of these tracks just to see if it maybe makes a difference. It could just be like an overall CPU thing, but I highly doubt it just because when it's a CPU problem, Ableton's working fine. This is just, I hate technology. As much as I love technology, I hate technology because it's just, especially nowadays, like I said, everything is a money fucking scam. Everything is just, I just don't trust anybody or anything. Again, you pay all this fucking money for, high-speed internet and, you know, it's just, how do you know it's actually high speed, It's like, and then you say it's going slow, but then they'll try to sell you the next package, and then it's the same thing. It makes no sense. And then they come service it, and then, oh, you gotta change it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, hell, I can't even, the fucking Spectrum, they came in, I was just like, I wanted to change the name of the Wi-Fi because, it's just easier to identify, because as you can see, we got a couple fucking things over here. And they're like, oh no, you can't change the name anymore, and you can't change the password. So it's just like, again, more regulations, more fucking rules. It's bullshit. Oh. All right, I'm gonna give this one last shot here. I mean, it seems to be fine. I'm watching this on my phone as I speak. I mean, it seems okay, but yeah, it's only, see, it's got to be my connection because I'm only using 11% CPU, which is really nothing. All right, let's give this another shot here. I don't know, yeah, YouTube's just fucked, but all right, let's give this a try again. I do apologize in advance if this shit drops out and I end up having to quit the stream. But in the event of that happening, what I'm gonna do, like I said, is just record this all locally. I will record like an hour long, just an hour long studio time session, and yeah, and also I guess this isn't my preferred method just because it's a little. It's not as efficient, but if anybody does have any questions, if I do have to do that, if anyone has any questions that they want answered, if there's anything you want me to show you, let me know and I will do so. But let's go ahead and give this a shot.
It's a head banger. Jump it. Like that.
All right. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think it's working. I don't know. It really is just frustrating. But I guess what we're gonna do is give it just a shot here. I think it's all right. Pulling all my cables and shit. Oh god, what did I do? I'm gonna save a copy. Save a copy of my project files, especially when I make like changes. Like I froze all the tracks. I mean, obviously I can unfreeze them, but I don't know. I just like to make a copy. I guess even, you know, just in case I fuck up. Alright. So yeah, and in case you guys are curious, so all of these basses here, obviously these are all original sounds. Obviously, I try to stay away from using samples, unless they're like effects or, you know, just something that is incredible that, you know, whatever. But I try to, you know, stay away from just throwing loops and different samples, because I love being creative, and my favorite part of production is sound design. So it's like I love creating sounds and, you know, trying to see what kind of shit you can come up with, you know. So this actually, it's kind of crazy, because it actually it sounds very 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 virtual riot-y. That even makes sense. It sounds identical. I think there's like let me see here. There was like a sample. I think I have like I think it's like a splice pack or something, like the Virtual Riot sample pack. I was going through this the other day. I was just going through like the actual, like, all my samples, and I came across like a bass, and it sounded like actually like spot on to this. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Obviously, it was not intentional. I don't know if I'll even be able to find it. I guess it doesn't even matter, but anyways, this is like one of my favorite patches, and it's so simple to make, and there's actually like all of the I guess the reason I was explaining that, anyways, the sound, it's so yeah, anyways, this is I'll show you, give you a quick little thing of this. But anyways, yeah, so this patch, again, it's nothing like too crazy. This is one of the all of the wavetables that I use for the most part. I create myself. Like whenever I start a new project, I like to try to use like you know, like what I'll do. I guess it all depends on how I start like the track. But for this one in particular, I think no, you know what? I didn't start with the drop, but the way I started the drop, I was just messing around, and I made this patch, and then all of the other patches in this drop actually all stem from this one idea. And I try to do that a lot. So what I will do, basically, I got this patch, and then what I'll do, I'll either switch up the oscillators, switch up the effects slightly, you know, maybe give it a different shape, and then I'll just see how many different variations of patches I can come up with. And that's what I do in like a lot of my tracks here. I started organizing my patches a little differently, but this is a good example right here. All of these 14 patches, they're all different, but they all stem from one idea, and I feel like doing that kind of gives every, you know, it I don't know, it just kind of ties the sounds in together a little better. But yeah, literally, obviously this is just using, you know, I made this patch using frequency modulation here. That's what it sounds like without it. Honestly, just gotta find that sweet spot, but yeah, and like I said, this wavetable is one of the ones that I created for a while I was making wavetables, and how even I was making like patches in like my projects, and like I wasn't saving them because I was just moving so quickly, and I was just like, coming up with different sounds and ideas. And then what I actually just did, I went through all of my projects and started, I literally just, there were so many just in it, presets, that I didn't save. Well, obviously they weren't in it, but basically I made all these patches and wavetables and shit, and I never saved them. So that's what basically this favorites folder is all these, patches, and I started saving them and organizing them a little bit better, but I got all these just patches that, I've been trying to go through and switch up and change and modify and just see how far I can push like that one idea, because you'd be surprised, like you start with one idea that's like mediocre, and then you work on it, add a different wavetable, add some different effects, whatever you need to do. And then another cool thing that I like to do a lot is take like, for instance, let's just say like we have this right here. Export that to an audio file, like do like one shot, or you can do like, the double. But basically just try to get like one sound from a Serum patch that you made. So basically, I made this patch in Serum, take this little snippet right here, export it to audio, start a new patch, and then make a wavetable out of that. And that's like, there's just so many ideas and different things you can do. Okay, it seems to be working. So yeah, anyways, there's really not too much going on here. Yeah, and what I was actually gonna do too, let's see here. Go to audio effects. For the longest time, I never ever used any of the effects. I mean, besides like compression and stuff, but I never really like experimented with like all these other, I mean, I know what every single effect in Ableton does, but I never really thought about like, experimenting and seeing what different stuff I could come up with using the stock, effects and stuff. And there's actually like a lot you can do. Like I always use the just like the Serum effects plugin, which is just like an audio version of Serum, so you can use like the effects from there. And I always try to keep things super simple, but aside from OTT, there's a lot of cool, like Ableton's got like for instance like the phaser. It's actually a really nice phaser. See, if you like automate that, that would sound pretty sweet. I think that sounds pretty good. I feel like it almost takes a little bit away from the stereo width. What you can actually do if you like crank the dry wet up all the way, and then turn like the LFO rate on, and turn the phase down, you get like a kind of like real rhythmy sound. Makes it real fucking messy. kind of like that, actually. I'm actually going to automate that, so let's do this. Let's see how that sounds with a little bit of automation. See, like, when I'm making sounds, the thing that I always try to do is basically create as much movement as possible. You know, obviously you don't want to make, like, a clusterfuck of just, like, mess. I mean, maybe you do, because sometimes, you know, accidents, you know, sometimes, but when you're, you know, doing that, just, like, you know, maybe you get, like, I don't even know what the word would be, but yeah, if you're just, like, fucking adding stuff, just moving everything, you know, sometimes, you know, you make these mistakes or do whatever, you know, and you have these, I don't know if you want to call it like a happy accident, basically. Just accidentally come up with something really cool by just making a mess. But see, the only issue that I have now is that what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna duplicate this, and there's a little trick that it doesn't always work, but you basically have one 100% dry and one wet, so basically it has louder signal. Makes a huge difference. I like to do this with reverb a lot, so I'll duplicate the reverb and then have one 100% wet, 100% dry. I know you may say that, like, just put the 50, you know, do a 50% dry wet, but it's not the same. By doing it this way, you get, like, a slightly louder output, and I guess, you know, you get equal. Again, I know 50% dry, 50% wet, it's the same thing, but in my opinion, with certain effects, you lose a lot of character in some effects, some sounds, if you leave the dry, wet, and, like, and if you're trying to get, like, an equal mix, do it this way. Try it at least. Sometimes, again, you know, you just get a better result. That's dry, wet, and then here's just the wet, you can hear. So you still hear, like, 100% of the you know, the original, the dry sound, but you also get, you know, some of the wet sound. And you can even, like, tweak this a little more. And then yeah, I mean, I think that sounds pretty cool.
It's a head banger. Jump it.
All right, you know what? We're gonna save this. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start a new track here. Seems like the stream is actually working now. Hopefully it'll stay that way. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start a new project here. I really don't want to get carried away working on this track. There's a lot I could show you guys, but I'm gonna do stuff from scratch. So I think what we'll do Oh, I guess we'll just play around and see where it takes us. Again, if you guys have any questions at all, and there's anything you want me to show you or teach you, please let me know in the comments below. And also, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet, because I will be streaming, well, attempting to stream frequently, and I will be posting a lot of videos. I got a ton of stuff that I must have not hit. Oh, I must not hit new. I have a lot of videos ready to go. I just haven't posted them yet. I think a couple of them I need to finish editing, but a lot of music stuff, a lot of magic stuff. Yeah. So, now we wait. All right. Such a lag in the keyboard because I'm not using ACO for all. I got to use like my the direct audio thing from my laptop, so it's just when I'm streaming, it's just so laggy. Okay. So, all right, what we're gonna do here. This is seriously how I like to sometimes start a track. I'm really big into catchy melodies and stuff, but what I like to do is move this thing over here. Sometimes I'll start with like an intro and I'll start at the beginning, but I guess it really all depends. But what I like to do, just to kind of give myself some space, I like to start either at like 25 or 33 bars, just because usually like if you go by like a standard song structure, usually the drop will fall around 33 bars, give or take. Because basically that would be, because this would be the end of 32 bars, which would be 4 8-bar measures or whatever you want to call them. So that's like usually, but anyways, enough of that. So what I'm gonna do is just drag a drum kit in. This is just the one I usually use. Oh, another cool thing I want to show you guys. So this is kind of like, I don't want to say like a mixing tip, but it helps with mixing and mastering. This is like a little thing that you should do in the beginning that'll help in the long run. Basically, if you're using like a drum rack or just any sample, for instance, I got this kick sample here. By default, it will drag in at -12 decibels, and there's a couple things wrong with that. Obviously, that's not the true volume of the actual sample. Yeah, what it'll do, this is how it would sound normally when you drag a sample into the drum rack. Oh. It's very quiet, not powerful at all. I don't know why I did that. You can tell that there's, you know, oh, wait, what the fuck is going on here? There we go. So actually, oh, there we go. So you can tell it's like not, you know, it's not the full sample. So obviously, if you bring this up to 0, it's going to be very loud, and it's going to clip a little bit. So what I recommend doing, and this is a huge thing, turn your volume up to 0 and don't turn the track volume down. Turn the actual like sample gain, not the volume. Turn the sample gain down right here. And basically what I like to visualize this as, you could see this whole blue space. Basically this is like what I like to visualize is like that's your not necessarily your well, I don't know what the basically I don't want to say headroom because that just sounds weird, but basically that's going to be like your stereo space, whatever you want to call it. Really, I don't know. And like I said, by default, this sample is basically at the, you know, the highest peak it can be, you can actually see some of the wave kind of getting cut off a little bit. So obviously, naturally, this is gonna distort, or it's gonna clip. So instead of turning the volume down over here, which again just basically makes a clipping signal quieter, what you want to do is turn the volume to 0 and then turn the gain down over here. And then again, what I like to visualize this is basically when you're doing that, now you're creating headroom, and see it's not clipping anymore. The same thing goes for dragging audio samples in. I don't know if you can actually do this. No, you can't. I thought you could, but show in browser. I could have just searched it, but a little thing that I like to do here. So yeah, if you're dragging in, let me just make sure. Okay, yeah, so anyways, this is a little thing that I like to do. If you're using audio samples, the same rule applies. So as you can see here, this is, you know, naturally a kick, you want it to be a loud, you know, it's a loud sound. But obviously you can see here that, again, this clip is, you know, maxed out pretty much. So, actually, you don't even have to warp it. But yeah, so what I like to do if you're using an audio sample is to literally just turn down the gain right here. I don't know, -3. It really all depends on the sample. But if we leave this at 0, you'll see right away it's basically maxing out at like 0 dB, which you don't want it to. And again, you could turn down the track volume, but you'll see it really doesn't do that much. So what I like to do again is basically turn everything down from the source again, which is the sample, and then you know, then you can adjust it. See, now you can turn this down if you really need to, but you won't have to. So yeah, basically, I guess the moral of that story is to turn everything down from the source, whether it be a sample or a plugin. If you're having clipping issues, you know, you obviously don't want your serum. Like a good example would be if you have this master cranked up all the way, and this is probably going to be super loud. So obviously we're in the red here, right? You can turn this down all you want, but you are still in the red. So that's going to do you no good. You're literally still going to have a distorted signal. So if you're running into that issue, again, you know, don't start by turning the track volume down. Start by going to the source and seeing what the issue is again. So in this scenario, we're clipping in serum. So basically, get rid of the clipping, and it should solve your problem, and everything is going to sound way cleaner. So this is just a little, I was a little off on a tangent, but it was just something I wanted to throw out there. I've probably mentioned it before, but yeah, it's something that I always do in all my tracks. I turn everything down at the source, and in my opinion, it gives you a way cleaner sounding, you know, mix, and just overall, you know, whatever. It helps a lot. So, alright, looks like I lost my sample here. I fucked up. So I usually, honestly, just use like the same samples in a lot of them. Well, this is like my go-to drum kit. Start with something simple. Another cool little tip for you guys here is something that I always do, and I'm not doing it right yet, but side chaining your hi-hats with your kick. Just because it creates so much more movement. So let me actually show you here. Actually, I will sidechain it with my kick here. So the easiest way to do it, the way I normally do it, is just to literally duplicate my drum rack, and I'll basically have my kick and snare on one track, and then my hi-hats and cymbals and basically all the, the percussion and top end, I'll have that all on another track. So this is the way I usually set this up here. Just color code it. Kick and snare, and we will just label this top end. Oh, I forgot to delete this. I was wondering why it was loud. And also, I do not use shit. Come on. I hope this works. Again, I apologize for that little hiccup. Everything seemed to be going smoothly. As I apologize. Alright, so anyways, so for my drum, this is usually how the setup looks. I create a drum group, and then I'll have my kick and snare group, which is, obviously kicks and snares. I could do toms in that group too. It really doesn't matter. And then I'll do another group, which is the same drum rack, just duplicated, and that'll be like all my hi-hats, and I dropped my phone. That'll be all my hi-hats, and again, like top end type stuff, like percussion. And then, I will always sidechain that with the kick. You can do it with the kick and the snare. Really doesn't matter. And I do not use compression for sidechaining. I use strictly LFO tool because it's volume automation, and it doesn't hurt your audio signal. It literally just creates, it's just volume automation. So I think it's a lot more consistent, and it just works better in my opinion. Normally the way you would do this is set up a note trigger here, which simplest way to do it is create a MIDI track. You're going to drag a external instrument onto that track, and then we'll just duplicate our kick and snare track here. Doesn't matter, the note just needs a signal. I guess we'll sidechain it with the kick and the snare. We'll just do this, make it a little bigger so we can see it, and then this will be our sidechain trigger. And just so it kind of stands out, I like to just color this white just so I know that that's my trigger. And then the cool thing you can do here, so we're gonna go to, here it is, LFO tool. You're gonna click note retrigger twice until you see whatever, I don't even know what light, I can't even see that, but oh, I think it's these ENV maybe, I don't know, I can't see that. Regardless, oh no, you can make this bigger, that's cool. Anyways, if you do that, that'll basically receive the signal from your trigger. But first thing you need to do is go to your external instrument, and then select where you want it to go to, which is going to be the top end. It automatically knows the LFO tool is what we're going to send it to. And another thing, because normally in my tracks I have multiple side chains, usually slightly different depending. Instead of creating 10 different MIDI tracks, the easiest way to do this, basically you can send this same trigger to many different sources. You literally, all you have to do is create a group, and basically that's really it. You just rename this. We'll just say this is going to be our top end side chain, and then literally you can just duplicate this. And if you have an LFO tool on your bass line or whatever, you can send it to different places all from this one trigger. It's so much more efficient than, literally creating 10 different triggers. It's all the same thing, obviously. So, but then our result. And now with this, I kind of like it to gradually, so you can tell, you can listen to it now and hear that without the trigger, it kind of sounds just very, not, I don't want to say natural, but it just sounds, very just like computerized, I guess. But when you do this, it creates a lot of movement, and obviously you can make this however you want. I really just like to kind of create like a very gradual, quick but quick but gradual. Those are complete opposites. But I don't like the first note, like the note to completely go silent. So I'll usually just like create like a curve like that. I guess it really all depends on the track, but you can hear it dip in and out, and then you can even, like, if you did this, let's just say, what am I doing here? So that's basically that. So yeah, always. Oh, you don't have to, but it's just I always do it. At least I always sidechain my hi-hats with my kick and snare. Yeah, use LFO tool, set up your MIDI trigger, and I like to do this all like at the beginning, kind of like prepping, like it's at least for like the trigger. So what I'll do here, I mean, you don't have to duplicate it, but basically set up this group here, and I usually I thought I had this saved as like a preset, but you could do that too, so that way you can just drag it in and you're good to go. And then, like I said, if you want to send it, let's just say we had, let's drag in a serum here. What we can do is take a different LFO tool, drag it on here. Let's just say this is our baseline, and say we want like a harsher sidechain. You could do this, and you literally just click the same thing. You click a note retrigger twice, and then now you can go to our trigger here, duplicate this. Let's just say it's the baseline, and then literally just click your MIDI to click serum, and now got a little carried away there, but yeah, so anyways, what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna just create a group here, and I guess we'll start messing around with some sound design, see what we can kind of come up with. As far as like the drop goes, I do want to show you. I made this really cool sounding. I think it was here. I made this really cool sounding patch yesterday using a bunch of stuff, but I will show you. So this is actually just like, so I took a sample. I don't even remember. It was, yeah, some punch bass. It was just some weird sounding sample. And I zoomed in and I basically just, you know, dissected it a little bit, took out a snippet of it, and basically looped that over and over again. Added some serum effects, which again, you know, is just the audio version. You could see that you can throw the note latch on, so basically you can use LFOs and everything. And then just some OTT, a little bit of erosion, some EQ, and an auto filter with the LFO. And then I got the macros mapped over here, so that I could do this. There we go. I thought it was really cool. It's obviously it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like old school dubstep, but it kind of reminds me of like, you know, actually no, it sounds like a what's the dude's name? Kind of sounds like an Oliver space a little bit, but I thought it was cool though, and I just wanted to show you guys that there's a lot you can do with just the Ableton plugins. It's kind of crazy. With mapping and macros and automation and stuff. But anyways, let's get into some sound design here. had to try the FM. I didn't think it was gonna work, but. I'm just gonna leave the shape like that for now. This is alright. I really like the Ableton phaser, to be honest. Just a little bit of that. The EQ creates some vowel movement. Some bowel movement. Alright, so now let's make the actual LFO shape. I just wanted to put it like that for a minute. Another little thing I like to do if I make an LFO shape like this, I'll do different like levels. So I'll put one LFO slightly lower because it just gives the sound a different timbre. You know, it gives it different like parameters, whatever you want to call it. You know, instead of the curve going all the way to the top, obviously it just, you know. I think it creates little movement, and I like it, so. Let's maybe add a filter or see what else we can do to this. was just trying to clean things up a little bit, but I think it's good enough, honestly. Let's try this. I love that plate reverb at the end because it just, you know, it makes, adds like another dimension to the sound. You just want to use a little bit though, make sure the damp and the width are all the way up. Another little thing too, I like to like, for some sounds, I like to essentially leave a little gap at the beginning, so the LFO doesn't start right away, because it really just, it makes it sound a lot like wonkier, like a lot funkier, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Let's see if we can maybe get another LFO in here. This is a good one. This is like literally just a wavetable I created by resampling an FM square wave. Wow, pow, 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 pow. Some OTT. I should go after the phaser. Hopefully you guys can actually hear what this is doing. If I crank this up, you'll hear it really. So yeah. It's literally, like I said, it's just making like a, it's kind of like a white noise. You see noise, wide noise, and then sine. You could also do like a sine wave sound. Which I think is kind of cool, but not for this sound. But yeah, again, it's just you have to experiment. I think that kind of sounds cool. We could also add... Ooh, that was loud. Nah. Now this is a cool effect. Like you can use this, you could do this like inside of Serum, or you can use Ableton delay. And if you do like a really short delay time, it'll kind of give the sound like almost like kind of like a rhythm type sound, but it's more of like a robotic, you know, like rhythm sound, I guess. I don't know how you want to classify it, but this is it. That's what it adds to it. You obviously find the sweet spot. I think that sounds pretty cool. think that sounds pretty cool, actually. Let's automate that. Oh. Wonder if we add this after. I guess we'll leave it for now. So, yeah, so what we'll do... Go ahead and turn these off. I'm gonna make a new patch now. Triplets. Just to save time, I forgot. Good thing what I was doing. I kind of like that machine gun sound. I like that. I don't know what that was. And it looks like the stream has failed again. Oh, I apologize. Alright, I'm probably going to stream a little bit longer because, I don't know, this is kind of annoying. This should be... right, so because I'm having issues with this stupid stream, I'm probably going to be ending this stream in a few minutes. What I'm probably going to end up doing is just recording this locally and then posting it. I'm so kind of distracted by the fact that it's not working. Trying to obviously get something started here, but it's kind of hard just because, like I said, the stream isn't, you know, just cut out a few minutes ago, and it's not doing what it's supposed to. Fuck. But yeah, I don't know. I really hope you guys. Ooh. Hope you guys enjoyed this kind of mediocre stream here. I do apologize for all the cutouts and shit. If you do have any questions or there is anything you want me to show you, whether it's like make a tutorial on it or like, you know, just put it in one of the streams or studio times, let me know in the comments. You know, whether it's something you want me to show you how to make, you know, any questions regarding sound production, mixing, mastering, anything, sound production, yeah, sound design, any of that stuff, just let me know. Okay, my stream was just going haywire for a second. So yeah, yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of like redo this, I guess, but oh, it's so frustrating. I think that sounds kind of cool, but yeah, I'm gonna pick up on this later. Let me save this just so I know. This is gonna end up lost. I do want to show you guys this kind of cool little thing that I little drop loop, a little idea that I kind of created the other day, and then we're gonna end the stream just because the connection sucks and this is not gonna be good quality, so I'm gonna have to record it locally. But yeah, this is just like a little drop thing that I kind of fucked around with.
Step up on it. Fuck you. Fuck you.
So yeah, this second part is just, it was kind of a joke, but these are all serum. This is another thing I want to show you guys another time though. Really cool way to get really nice, thick, beefy basses is to, you could do this with any sound too, or any patch, whatever, any plugin. I mean, you could do it if you, this is like a little trick to, I guess, like, let's just say that you have like a huge layer of, let's just say like chords, and instead of making 10 different like MIDI, or 10 different tracks that all have the same MIDI notes, you can actually just make a group and then throw different plugins in this group, and when you hit one note, it'll play, you know, whatever plugins you have within that group, all at the same time. So basically, I'm doing this with Serum a lot, and I usually, this is a good way to do your sub bass as well. What I'll do is duplicate the exact Serum patch and then just cut everything out except for the sub, and then I'll duplicate it, and then, or yeah, I'll basically create a sub track that follows the same exact LFO as the first one, and they play, you know, simultaneously. So it's pretty cool, little time saver there. But yeah, these are all just shit fucking around with, you know. And then yeah, this second part here is kind of stupid. It's kind of a joke in a way, but yeah, I'll play it for you guys. But see, because I'm not really a fan of rhythm at all. I think just fucking stupid because it's the same thing over and over and over again, and it just gets really annoying. So that's kind of what I did this for, just kind of like fuck you, and then
Fuck you!
So that second part kind of sounds cooler, but yeah, it's just, again, that was just kind of stupid. Sounds very basic, very bare minimum. But yeah. So I don't know. So yeah. Anyways, what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna record a local studio time. I might even do it just in parts, possibly, because it's kind of frustrating and recording like a long hour-long video and then like waiting for it to upload. It's cool like when I stream it just automatically uploads, so that's why I prefer doing studio times this way, because it's kind of more so just me working, but it hasn't worked out obviously because of connection issues. So I'm gonna have to figure something out, but in the meantime, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and also, like I said, if you guys have any questions, requests for videos, any of that stuff, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, new music is coming very soon. I've been putting off, why is this doing this? Oh, because of this. But yeah, so I've been putting off releases just because I'm working on perfecting this album that I'm finishing up, whatever. And I just don't want to put out any mediocre shit. I want to make sure that it's perfect. So anyways, yeah, be on the lookout, stay tuned, whatever. And I forgot how to end this stream. I gotta do it from here. So anyways, yeah, peace guys, I'll see ya.